Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dan here from my YouTube channel, First Bite with Dan. And I'm not doing a food review video today. I am playing Ninja Gaiden. Why? Because this game haunted me growing up, and I wanted to prove that a normal amateur gamer like myself can do a complete run through of Ninja Gaiden, arguably one of the hardest video games on the original Nintendo, that a normal guy like me can do a complete run through without losing a life. And just to be clear, I'm not a speedrunner. I do try to run it fast, but I am not a speedrunner. I do not stream on Twitch. I do not play video games professionally. I know some of these guys like Arcus and the Retro Runner, some of these world record holders for this game, can do this thing like immaculately. My best time is like 16 minutes 48 seconds. I think the world record's like an 11:32 or something like that. So I'm not here to set any world records. If you're here looking for a world record Ninja Gaiden run, you've come to the wrong spot. This is just me showing you that a normal amateur gamer that does not play this for hundreds of hours a week, that does not stream on Twitch, can put together a pretty good run. So if you're like me, if you're an amateur gamer and there's some games that have haunted you your whole life, like this game haunted me my whole life until last year, April of 2023, when I finally beat it for the first time. Yes, you too can follow your dreams and achieve your goals. And you know, it's funny, the first time I beat this game, because every time I would get close, I would reset the game. I did not want to lose a life. I wanted the first time that I went through this game, kind of like a teenage girl on prom night, I wanted my first time to be special. So, first time I went through this game, it was actually a no death run, did not lose a life. And yeah. I've been running this ever since, just because, you know, once I actually learned the ins and outs of the game and learned how to play it, it got a lot more fun than it used to be. I mean, this was the stereotypical, you know, if you were a kid growing up at the same time I grew up, you had a Nintendo, you had this game. This game was probably the first time that your parents ever heard you drop an F-bomb. Probably several. Actually, this game might have been the first time that you ever threw a controller across the wall and either broke the controller or put a hole in the wall, or both. So, yeah, those are the memories that I have of this game, and it's a lot better than it used to be. So yeah, anyway, oh no! Holy crap! I messed that up. I was supposed to do a double spin slash there, and I only did a single. I'm not supposed to take a hit there. That's okay. We are on to Act 3. So this is 3-1. Each stage has, you know, several portions of the stage. I almost fell in the water there. I got that throwing star, and then I have to jump and throw the star. Oh, I missed. I'm supposed to knock that that fire weapon out of the sky, so I didn't have to double back, such as I did. But I threw the star too early, and it threw it over top of that little icon where the fire weapon was hiding. So I had to double back. So, you know, if I was playing for a world record time, or even just a personal best time, that's something right there where I would just be like, all right, I'm resetting the game. I mean, it's so hard to save time on this game. Some of the little tricks that you have to know, it's almost impossible if you don't dedicate your entire existence to just being amazing at this game. I mean, like, I have a full-time job. I work, like I said, I don't stream on Twitch, partially because I don't think that that's a revenue stream I could tap into, honestly. People don't come to see okay-ish average people like me play video games. They want to see, like, the best of the best of the best world record holders play games. Got to beat this boss here. This is the only act in the game, Act 3, where there is no spin slash weapon, so got to take care of him with the fire. That was an okay-ish boss fight. I mean, for an amateur gamer such as myself, I guess it was fair, but whatever. Anyway, on to Act 4. And just in case you were wondering, I mean, I know that, like I've said, I'm just amateur. I'm not showing you all the advanced tricks or anything like that because I don't know them myself. I haven't practiced them. Just to be able to do this, and if you're not experienced with this game, I'm probably making this look, maybe semi-easy. You don't know how much of my life I wasted just being able to get to this point where I was able to make it this easy. And it's still, to this day, to be able to run this through without losing a life. As many times as I've done it, it's still very, very difficult. You really have to be precision. And there's so many parts of this game where you think, oh, I've got this down, or, this might be a hard part, but, this is an easy part, and I've got this down. Eventually, you'll lose a life on one of the easy parts, too, because this game just enjoys humbling you. It really does. So you can't take anything for granted when you're playing this game. You just got to be locked in and just go after it and get it done. And the way that I'm playing this game now, I'm trying to run it fluidly. Like, you try to move in a linear and fluid way so that you're not stopping or backtracking. I'm not always great at that, but I try, because in addition to being able to run the game faster, it just makes it easier. Because there's parts where if you stop and you slash an enemy, if you're in the wrong spot on the screen, the enemy will actually respawn and keep coming back and back and back. And without being linear and fluid and continuous movement, some of these parts are very difficult because the enemies will keep, the same enemy that you just slashed will keep coming back over and over and over again. So, yeah, it's that's another tricky aspect of the game to learn, and learning how to stop enemies from respawning so that you can actually move forward and make progress in the game. Also, I don't know if you could see the red and the blue boxes that I'm collecting periodically. Not that. But that's called Ninpo. You basically need power to, like, that spin slash weapon that when I'm spin, that costs 5 Ninpo every time I use it. So 1 slash and the doggies are dead. So those are evil doggies. They're not good doggies. Don't be upset. Those are demon dogs. We did not want to keep those alive. Act 5, this is the part where this game, I mean, if you've gotten this far, this is where this game absolutely just really starts to ramp up. I mean, it just... And there's a part coming up here where if I'm going to lose a life in this game, if it's going to happen, well, I'll show you where it's going to happen. And I hope I don't jinx myself. Because... Okay, throw the star, wait for the bird, pop. Right there, sometimes he throws one of the swords and it catches you and knocks you backwards into the pit. That was good. That was good. Jump and... Oh, I see that red box. That was worth 10 Ninpo. Blue boxes are worth 5. Red's worth 10. And you need that Ninpo to power your weapons. But at the same time, you don't want to have too much when you get to the end and beat the boss. I just got the spin slash back. You don't want to have too much because, the timer, after you beat the boss, the timer counts down to 0, and then you move on to the next stage. But the timer doesn't start counting down until however much Ninpo you have remaining finishes counting down. So if you've got a lot of Ninpo, if you're like me and you're scared to run your Ninpo down and you like to stock up, well, you have too much at the end of the level and you got to wait for the Ninpo counter to count all the way down, and then your timer to count down, and it costs you a few precious seconds. Drop, ooh, that is another part where if you're gonna die, it'll happen there. That's a very difficult spot for an amateur gamer to get through. You basically just have to free fall off one side of the wall, grab the other side of the wall if you're falling. Thankfully, we did it. This part right here, this section of the game, 5-3, you have to come absolutely locked in every time, no matter how many times you've done it, no matter how many times you've played it. And that's what I'm talking about. You could get a bad pattern. One of those guys can knock you off the edge. I mean, anything could happen. That's not a spot where I take a hit, typically. Good thing I didn't take a hit while I was like, near one of the gaps, because that would have been costly. Because this game will knock you back. You don't just get hit. I mean, you get knocked back, and you could easily get knocked back into pits. Spin there, and to the ladder and climb. Get the gremlin, jump the bird. Watch out for that crazy looking boomerang throwing guy, whatever his name is. 15 Ninpo, 10 Ninpo. Okay, I'm down to 5 Ninpo, and I only need 5 Ninpo for the boss. I only need 1 spin slash. Boom, got it. I'll say this, as an amateur, I feel like I'm having a decent run so far. I feel like I'm playing pretty decent. Pop. Okay, let's see if I can do this part without getting hit. Nice. That part causes me trouble often. It's not that you can't get through this section here without taking a hit, but... Oh, and then of course that happens. I get through the hard part, and then the stupid axe throwing guy knocks me back a couple of times. Whatever, alright. Like I said, you're not seeing perfection here. You're seeing just a real, honest look at an average, everyday gamer who's just trying to show you that even though this game is above average difficulty for an average gamer, it's possible. It is possible. Wow. I took a bad knockback there from those jetpack ninjas, and it was almost costly. I landed on the ledge and right next to the edge of the ledge instead of falling off. So, caught a little bit of a break there. I feel like you really can't, sometimes you really can't succeed in this game unless you catch a break now and then. This part of the game is called the Hall of Death. It's a little difficult even with the spin slash weapon, almost impossible if you don't have the spin slash weapon. We're going to jump, we're going to jump, we're going to jump there, and then boost off of the enemy to the ladder. I took that hit intentionally. That's part of speedrunning. Sometimes you need to manipulate your character so that you take a hit and get knocked forward. And a few seconds here, a few seconds there, and then pretty soon you're setting your own personal best record for your best time. 6-2. That level is brutal, and I got through it relatively painless, thankfully. So we're going to do 6-3, and then when we get to the end of 6-3, there are 3 bosses in a row that you have to beat. And if you lose a life on any one of them, the game will send you all the way back to the start of 6-1. So it's kind of not fair. Wait and jump. And there we go. Nice. Well, okay, well, I got a time stopper. That's why he stopped in midair. The time stopper stops any enemies that are on the screen, and it keeps any new enemies from respawning until it runs out. I was trying to stop him in midair and boost off of him. The trouble was I didn't get the boost right, and I ended up getting hit twice. Right here, don't try to kill any enemies. Just have enough energy to be able to run to the door, because you don't want to collect the wrong weapon from any of those candles. There. Just spin slash the statue there. That's the first of the 3 bosses. I do not do this part well. Some people can do this very quickly. I can't. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I can do this on a good day, which apparently today is not. I can do this without taking any damage. But today is not that day, apparently. Some people can jump and just go pa 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 pa, like it's like super fast with the sword, and get like several hits on this guy at once. I could only get like a couple at a time. Also, too, you gotta remember these fireballs are crazy. They're like heat-seeking missiles. They'll come after you, and if a fireball touches you, you lose 1 health from your health meter. If you actually touch Jackie-O, then you lose 3. Wow, that was not good. There we go. All right, moment of truth, final boss. Let's see what happens here. Watch out for them little fireballs that look like shrimp. Shrimp. Yummy. Those are deadly shrimp. Those are deadly shrimp. Then you got to get the tail so that you don't get hit by the tail. Then you got to slash the heart. Pa, 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 pa. Let's go. There we go. And we have beat Ninja Gaiden without losing a life. Just wanted to show you that it was possible. And there you have it. It's possible. Because I just showed you that it can be done. Amateur gamer here. First Bite with Dan. And that's been a no death run of Ninja Gaiden. Thanks for watching.